Okay, I'm not sure how much background into Roe versus Wade y'all need. Essentially, it was the Supreme Court's decision that determined that women in the United States have a fundamental right to choose whether or not to have abortions without excessive government restriction. That part is clear, is written in stone, has been a bedrock of women's rights ever since. It is now, sadly, in the crosshairs of a resurgent religious right that has made great strides in cementing its power in the political and secular bodies of our country. Perhaps a look at how that happened is in order. Abortion has been a lightning rod for various religious and political institutions to rally up their people in support of one cause or another. Taking a closer look at the moral majority, however, and the machinations behind it reveal some telling notions about the not-so-surprising age-old political technique of exploiting people's fear of one thing to maintain power over another. It provides us a glimpse into the kind of political skullduggery we'll be examining throughout 2020. It's no small amount of dissonance that some of the original anti-abortionists even called themselves the new abolitionists, considering how white Christian America's record on defending the rights and bodies of black people is thin and suspect. That said, you ready for the irony? After the Brown versus Board of Education ruling to desegregate our schools, the underbelly of the evangelical community responded by founding private, whites-only schools. Such a move did not escape the IRS, however, who denied these law-breaking institutions their tax-exempt status, which, let's keep it 100, is where the money is. Churches make serious bank off this peculiar arc of the law, and to be told they can't get that bag unless they desegregate, well, that would not do. The Bob Jones University was particularly defiant about this, battling the IRS for several years with shady tactics, such as allowing one black student to enroll. A staggering level of tokenism right there. When the IRS finally put their boot down, evangelical leadership took note. Something had to be done. But rallying up people around being overtly racist as fuck is not a good look, now is it? Paul Weyrich, or Weyrich, one of the OGs of the moral majority, decided the abortion issue would be the torch that would light their way. It would supercharge good Christians and from there, embolden the religious right would shape American lives. Paul Weyrich was once a guy who said, "I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections quite candidly goes up as the voting populace goes down." This was also a guy who was tight with pro-Nazi whack job Laszlo Pastor, and was also into dominionism, which, have you seen The Handmaid's Tale? Dominionists kind of have a hard-on for a state run like that. And he was politically astute enough to realize misdirection, that age-old staple of illusionists everywhere, would be the way to do so. In the left hand, abortion. In this hand over here, why, that's just the state interfering in our God-given right to have private good Christian schools. Minus black people. Hashtag sorry not sorry. Roe versus Wade fun fact. Attorney Jay Floyd, arguing against abortion, opened with what was later described as the worst joke in legal history. Looking at the two female opposing lawyers, Floyd joked to the Chief Justice, "When a man argues against two beautiful ladies like this, they are gonna have the last word." His sexist remark was met with cold silence, and the pin dropped in favor of women gaining ownership of their bodies. Let's hope, fight, and kick and scream that this freedom remains. Research, Bob Jones University, Whatever Happened to the Human Race, the docuseries, Paul Weyrich, and Dominionism. Let's talk about it. You know!